Today in this video we are going to discuss about parliamentary democracy. So the democracy means demo means people, cracy means rule. It is the people rule, and the people are elected to the parliament, and the government is ruled by the people. That's why it is called, that is representative of the people. That's why it is called parliamentary democracy. So according to Robert Dahl, in all countries the decision of the government is taken by or seem to be reached as a result of the that is participation, direct and indirect participation by citizens, allies and activists. So by the people who are actively participating in parties, that is the allies, citizens and also the activists. So these people combine together and they take a collective decision, and by the direct and indirect participation the decisions are reached in parliament. So that is an important thing by the sayings of Robert Dahl. And synonym for democratic government, that is always called representative government. It is the synonym for democratic government, that is representative government, that is the people's government, that is the government is represented by the people according to John Stuart Mill. So what the parliamentary democracy means, it is the rule of the people, by the people, for the people and of the people, and usually the decisions are taken by the will of the people or representation of the people. And the parliamentary form of government, usually in parliamentary form of the government, the people rule through their representatives sitting in parliament. So the people who sits in the parliament, they enact laws for the people, and they also rule the people, and they are chosen by adult suffrage, that is universal suffrage. Suffrage means election, and it is universal suffrage through fair and free election. Then coordination between legislative, executive, that is the legislative is the MPs or Rajya Sabha MPs in case of central government, and in case of state government it is by elected representative, that is member of legislative assembly. So the president, PM and cabinet, that is they form the executive, and then the president is known as the government executive. The PM and cabinet members are elected bureaucrats. So it is known as, or is called the apart from that, the president and the office rule is known as that is bureaucrat, and this is called dichotomy of politics. So with these two organs of government, totally three organs of governments are there, that is legislative, executive, judiciary. And here we are talking about the legislative and the executive. The legislative consists of the prime minister, cabinet, and the other executive consists of the elected representatives, that is people elected representatives, that is PM, the cabinet ministers, MPs, and in case of state this is chief minister and the MLAs. These are all called elected representatives, and also bureaucrats. Then the fundamental rights are guaranteed. In the case of parliamentary democracy or parliamentary government, the people fundamental rights are guaranteed. Then basic features of parliament, there are two types of head is there in the parliamentary model or parliamentary democracy. One is called presidential form of government, that is he is the constitutional head, In USA, the presidential form of government is there. He is the constitutional head. And in case of India, this is Prime Minister is the head, and though President is also here, he is known as nominal head. So the PM is known as real head, and they form the majority of parliament, that is the cabinet, PM and elected representatives, and the policies and actions are taken by the Prime Minister, cabinet, and then they are remains in office as long as they have the support of the confidence of legislature. So when the legislature do not have the confidence over the government, that can be dissolved. Then PM leader of cabinet, and that is the representative for legislature. So the cabinet takes all sort of decisions, and it is put forth to the in the parliament. Then action, the law is taken. The law is made in the that is in parliament. Then constitutional arrangement. The constitutional arrangement, as per the Indian law, Indian constitution, Article 79 to 123 specifically specifies about the composition of parliament, terms of the two houses, and their session, and distribution of powers, and whatever the two houses. About it also says about the two houses, that is Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. In some certain states, the legislative assembly is there. In some cases, MLCs are there, member of legislative council is also there. There are two councils are there in state also. In some state only one council is there, that is legislative assembly. This arrangement is known as bicameral. Bicameral means if two councils are there, that is Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, then it is called bicameral arrangement. Unicameral means that is in London there is only one council is there, that is called unicameral. And then this is called constitutional arrangement. And here we have bicameral system in the central government, union government. And in some states the bicameral system is there also there, unicameral system is also there. Then conduct of business, we have to say something about how the parliamentary business is conducted. That is in two chambers, that is the what the MPs and MLAs have to do, and what is the qualification of MPs, MLAs, what is the financial proceedings, and parliamentary privilege. So we are mainly concerned about parliament, so that's why we will be sticking on to the parliament. And parliamentary privileges, what are the privileges available to the parliament? This is known as conduct of business. And Article 86 says about the right to address the House of Parliament, that is by the President. And Article 123, right to issue ordinance. The President can issue ordinance when the session is not there, that is when the Parliament is not in session. So the considering the country's situation, the President can issue ordinance, and it will have effect for 6 weeks, that is 42 days. That is the minimum. Sometimes even after 6 months also, 6 months plus 6 weeks, it may have its life, and afterwards it has to be, the ordinance has to be null, and it has to be made as null and void. Then it should get the approval of the Parliament, or a new law will be enacted. That is with regard to the Article 123. And democratic polity, that is the provide fundamental rights to citizens as per the Indian Constitution, Article 12 to 35, specifically that is says about the fundamental rights to be guaranteed to the citizens. That is right to equality, right to speech, right to do the occupation, and these are all the things, minorities education, all these things specified in Article 12 to 35. And then even the right to liberty, all these things are spelled out in Article 12 to 35. Even the important thing, that is Article 32, constitutional remedies. Writ can be made about the writ of habeas corpus, writ of mandamus, statutory prohibition, and then these things can be made in article as per the Article 32. Fundamental rights, that is insisting on fundamental rights, one can issue a writ petition. Then then we are going to see about the dynamics of parliamentary democracy. That is the how the dynamic situation is created in parliament. That is by the free and fair election. That is people to choose their representatives, and then the adult suffrage. That is here now it is made as 18. That is one should complete. Those who are completed 80 years of age can vote for the government. That is the for the election of representatives. That is adult suffrage. Then secret ballot system. That is previously the ballot papers were there. Now electronic voting machine is used, and the symbols will be allotted, and one has to press the symbol. That is through electronic voting machine. That is, and to conduct the election, an independent agency, the specialist agency is there. That is election commission, and they are not. It is an independent body, and nobody can have any control over that election commission. That is, then absolute majority forms the government. Say, for example, if some 534 MPs are there, means at least half plus one is simple majority, and then 2/3 majority means that is it should be total MPs should be divided by 3 and more than that is 2. It will come say one part, and it should be more than 2 means then it is called comfortable majority. So that is the biggest, whoever gets the majority. Simple majority is not enough, and a simple majority can also have the rule, but comfortable majority means if the single largest party comes to that is chosen for the for representation of government, then it is called absolute majority. Then they can form the government. The president will call they will select the absolute majority party will convene a meeting, and they will choose their head as PM, and the PM will go contact the president, and he will give the list of cabinet ministers, and the swearing ceremony will be done by the judge. That is so these are all the things happens in the absolute majority forms the government. The second largest party who won in election becomes the opposition party, and they also elect the leader, that is called opposition leader. Then opposition leader is equivalent to cabinet rank, and they will be given all privileges. That is opposition party functions under whip. So the head of the opposition party is known as whip. Then ruling party also have chief whip, that is a minister of cabinet rank. Then that is bargaining of pluralism, that is usually the pressure group forms the bargaining or pluralism in government. So whoever wants the major share for their welfare, that particular a group of people or group of members, students union or trade unions, these people put pressure on government for getting some benefits out of the government, that is the enactments. Then then role of parliament. What are the role of parliament? We are going to see the role of parliament: agency to control executive. So the executive, the ministers and other are controlled by the parliament, and it is acting as a watchdog over the executive, and also the executive accountable to parliament. So what all the ministers are accountable to parliament. So whatever because from the parliament only they are chosen, so they are accountable to parliament, and in turn the parliament is responsible for the people welfare and people wishes. Then tools of parliamentary control. Role of parliament is also as a public forum. It is there should not be any bedlam in the parliament, because it is a people's forum. They should get the things done by means of discussions, and so many questions, urgent motions, so many machineries are there. Some of the parliamentary controls are there. Through that they can those things can be used. But bedlam or confusion or bickering should not be in the parliament. Then as a public not bedlam, then parliamentary and a foreign approach, that is accords are signed. Sometimes accords should be signed by discussing in the parliament, but even before the parliamentary discussion of any external affairs matter, that is not a welcome affair. Then the serious debate happens in the legislature with regard to certain internal important matters. Then parliament is responsible for social change. If the parliamentary people are good enough Samaritan people, the great social change can happen in the society. Then laws are made in the parliament with regard to the important points such as the dowry and children welfare, and also welfare of women, and so some of the important laws are made in the parliament. And now we will see what are the tools of parliamentary control, how the parliament controls by itself. The question hour is there, urgent motion is there, no confidence motion, calling attention motion, and half an hour discussion, budgetary discussion, control to parliamentary committees are also there. By these tools the parliamentary people are controlled, so they cannot go beyond certain powers. For that certain the tools are there. They can ask questions, they can ask calling attention motion, and the budgetary speech, budgetary discussions will be there. These are all the tools in parliament. And decline of Indian parliament, that is the very often that is the barest minimum, threadbare barest minimum is there in the that is forming of the government. Then there will be lot of commotion will be there will be horse trade will be there, and even the government may tumble. So these things, the people mandate is necessary for a particular party to come to the power in absolute majority. Then if it is in threadbarest majority, there will be lot of confusion, and there will be lot of horse trade, and the tumbling of government will be there. So then with regard to the certain decline of Indian parliament, that is during the GATT general agreement on tariff and trade was made as World Trade Organization, and that is during 1993 32 ordinances were made in parliament. When the parliament was not in session, the president made huge ordinance, 32 ordinances during that. So these are all it is not a welcome affair. These things are not because it is not the will and wish of the parliament people. Then the article 123(1) specifically suggest for the ordinance. The president can make ordinance and it will have life for 6 weeks, and minimum and maximum it will be having a life for 6 weeks, 6 months plus 6 weeks. So these are all with regard to the parliamentary democracy. So in India we adopt the parliamentary rule system, we adopt the parliamentary democracy, and we elect the people, and the people form the government, and the absolute majority people is coming to the power, and the leader is selected, who will be the prime minister, and he will be forming the cabinet. With these type of arrangements, the Indian parliament is prolonging the business and successfully conducting all welfare measures, and if at all the welfare measure, it is called the welfare government. So with this we conclude this video.